In May of 2008, a tornado came through the Schmitz residence, destroying their house, their shed, and 34 vines in Vito's vineyard. In July of 2009, the house is rebuilt, the shed is rebuilt, and the vineyard is thriving. Let's visit with vintner Patty Schmitz. So this guy's fallen over.
This guy's fallen over. He needs a new stick. I need to buy about 300 of those 6-foot bamboo poles. But they're so long that it's hard to ship them, you know? So when I go up to Minneapolis and take you guys back, I'm hoping that we can stop at her business and I can just bring them home. Then I can write off the trip.
There you go. Out with the old, in with the new. Any special vineyard knot you use to tie that on?
No, I don't know what that kind of knot's called. Stake up the trunk so he grows nice and tall and straight. Try to, anyway.
So after the tornado, were they all toppled over?
Ooh, they look pretty nasty. You know what had happened is, I don't know if I have it in here. See that twine I have that goes from the top wire to the post? If I had plants that were going up that, when the tornado hit, it knocked all that string off and all those vines got tore from the plant. And so they were severed, you know, halfway down. Good one. I'm trying to get them all to grow along this wire, and then all the fruit will hang off the wire. And then I'll clear all this off of here, so they'll all be in a T. Welcome to Vito's Vineyard Winery. Well, the process that Rich does, and I'm really oversimplifying here, he gets fruit, and it doesn't matter what kind of fruit, and a lot of it's better if it's been frozen because it breaks down easier. And he puts a nylon in here, and we put the fruit inside the bucket.
Like a pantyhose, right?
Right, a pantyhose. And he stretches it over the top, and he puts the fruit inside the two legs. And he adds some water and some sugar, and he uses a hydrometer to determine how much sugar is in the fruit before he adds granulated sugar so that he can figure out how much alcohol it'll have in the end.
Okay, so this is the fermenter. You put
That's
the
correct.
fruit through the mesh of the nylon into the fermenter and add a few things. This is the hydrometer,
Right, that's a hydrometer.
and that measures
Sugar.
sugar content.
Right.
Okay, cool.
And then yeast, of course, eats the sugar, and that's what makes ethanol, which is alcohol. So, he does that first. He puts the fruit in there for about 3 days to let the fruit all break down and get all the juices out of it. And then he would strain the fruit, and the nylon helps in the straining process. It keeps a lot of the little seeds and twigs and stuff from entering in there, so you don't have to have a real fine sieve. So we found that works really cool. And then you add the yeast, and then you start the fermentation. And then you close this up. You leave it in here for 30 days, and we put one of these airlocks on top of this. And so...
Wait, let me see that again. Can you show me that? Hold it just for a
So after 30 days of fermenting, then we rack it. It's called racking it, where we siphon the wine from the top of the bucket and leave the sediments that have occurred in the bottom. And you do some other things to it while it's in there to clarify it. And then we put it into the carboys. The glass bottles are called carboys. And hopefully the transferring of that fruit at 30 days causes a second fermentation to occur. And that's why you put another airlock on top of it so that the gas can escape, and it's doing its second fermentation, and it sits in there, I know, roughly another 30 days, and then it's ready to bottle.
So what flavors do you have going on here? Do you remember?
2 rhubarbs. One is a red rhubarb and one is a green rhubarb.
And it's nice, and it's really a clear amber color. It's a beautiful coloring. Mm-hmm. And how long have these been in?
Almost 30 days for the carboy, and so they're just about ready to bottle.
Cool.
And we have the bottles off to the side there, and we'll sterilize.
Because you're really into the recycling of the bottles, right?
Yes.
You want to use recycled bottles.
Yes.
That's really smart.
You know, we have a friend who does wine at home too. He uses all these bottles.
Oh.
And so it's kind of unique, because then you know when you have a bottle like this that you got it from John Kearns, you know?
Right. Is there one bottle you like better than the others, or?
No.
What about a color of a bottle? Does that matter to you?
No. Because once it's gone through the fermentation, the sun, you know, doesn't really break anything down. It's already done that.
It's a cool bottle.
That's a rum bottle.
Is it?
Nassau rum. So you can use any kind of bottle.
All right. What is that?
It's the corker. So when you fill it up with wine and you put the cork on there, you know, you want it to go inside the bottle. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. And you can tell I don't do this. The boys do. Yeah, that sits on top of it. You put the cork on it, and then when you go like this, it slams it down into the bottle. See, there's a little arm that pushes it down in.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do about cork?
About what?
Cork. Like, do you have to buy clean cork? Can you reuse cork?
No, you can't reuse cork. Yeah, you buy clean. You buy clean corks. I'm of the opinion I'd like us to go to plastic, but we haven't played with it enough. And the only reason is because there is something that's called cork taint, or you know, it gives off a bad smell and it ruins the wine when corks are with bleach.
Oh. All right, walk a little bit over here.
So that's the only, you know, I don't know what the big deal is, but I'd rather see us use plastic just to be on the safe side.
What about cost-wise?
They're about the same cost.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not a big deal.
Can you reuse plastic corks?
I wouldn't reuse anything.
No.
You know, the whole idea of you want it to be clean. Mm-hmm. It could probably spoil a batch.
So when do you anticipate the first Vito's Vineyard?
This year. We're hoping to get 3 batches of wine. Usually in a 5-gallon, 6-gallon carboy of wine, we can get 30 bottles.
Wow.
So if we can get 3 batches, which is only, you know, 12 pounds of fruit in a 6-gallon thing. So I told you I thought I'd get 60 pounds of fruit out there.
So this is it, just a little corner of the basement.
That's it.
This is where the magic happens.
And there might be his little spot for his wine cellar up there.
Ah.
It's kind of an unexcavated area.
The Vineyard on Dunkerton Road.